Hey there. So, if you've ever been in a really high stakes negotiation, you know how incredibly intense and just confusing it can get. Well, today we're going to demystify one of mediation's most powerful tools, something that can really help you find clarity right in the middle of all that chaos.
I mean, have you ever felt that? Too overwhelmed to even think straight in a tense conversation? Yeah, of course you have. We all have. It's that moment when the stakes are sky high, emotions are boiling over, and it literally feels like our thinking brain just goes offline. And you know what? That's a completely normal human reaction. It's exactly why mediators have a special tool in their back pocket to help us navigate these moments.
All right, let's get into it. We're going to talk about divorce, stress, and what's happening inside your brain, because there's some real science behind why these conversations are so incredibly hard. It's not a personal failing, it's not just you, it's literally your biology. So here's what happens. During a super high-stress situation, like a divorce mediation, our brain's ancient survival system totally takes over. You've heard of it, right? The classic fight, flight, or freeze response. It's like an alarm bell starts blaring in your head, and when that happens, the logical problem-solving part of your brain, the part you really need, just shuts down. You get that awful brain fog. Your working memory gets shot. You get tunnel vision, where it's impossible to see the other person's side, and you start catastrophic thinking, just imagining the absolute worst-case scenario. Now, trying to make a good, lasting decision in that state, it's pretty much impossible. So, what do you do? How on earth do you get that thinking brain back online when you need it most? Well, this is where mediators bring in a very specific, very clever technique designed for exactly this kind of situation. Let's talk about the caucus. So, what is a caucus? Super simple. It's a private, confidential meeting between you and the mediator. That's it. You're held in separate rooms from the other person. Think of it like a strategic pause, a timeout. It's like finding a safe harbor in the middle of a storm, a place where you can finally catch your breath and regroup without all that pressure. And honestly, the difference between a joint session and a caucus can be like night and day. Look at this. In the joint session, emotions can be running super high. There's this pressure to perform, you're in a direct confrontation, it can often feel really unsafe. But then you go into caucus, and what do you get? A chance to de-escalate. Time to actually think clearly, a safe space to explore ideas without being shot down. And the big one, it is private and completely confidential. Okay, so now we'll dig into why the caucus is so powerful. Because this is way more than just taking a coffee break. The caucus has some very specific, really powerful benefits that can completely change the entire direction of a mediation. Seriously. So, what are these benefits exactly? Well, first, it just gives you that chance to breathe and let your thinking brain switch back on. It helps you find your voice, especially if you feel intimidated or talked over. It's also this incredible space to explore what's really bothering you, those hidden fears that are often lurking underneath the anger. And this is a big one. It helps manage power dynamics. It levels the playing field. I love this way of thinking about it. The caucus is like the mediator's tool to hand a microphone to the quieter person in the room, making sure everyone gets to participate as an equal. And this really gets to the heart of it. Check out this quote. In private, someone might finally say the real issue. I'm embarrassed about my debt, or I'm afraid he'll try to bankrupt me. See, often the real roadblock isn't the thing you're arguing about out in the open. It's some deep-seated private fear or even shame. The caucus is the only place where those real issues can finally surface in a safe way, so you can actually deal with them. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But what does it actually look like when you're in one? Let's walk through how a caucus works step by step, so it feels less like some mysterious legal thing and more like a practical tool that you can actually use. The whole process is actually really structured and supportive. First things first, the mediator is going to help you get centered. Just calm down, de-escalate. Then, step 2, you finally get to share your story, your perspective, without anyone interrupting you. After that, the mediator will help you explore what really matters, asking questions to get to your core needs and fears. Then comes the fun part. You can test out ideas, brainstorm solutions in a totally low-pressure environment. And here is the absolute most important part, step 5. You plan your message. You decide exactly what, if anything, you want the mediator to share. You are in complete control. So for any of this to work, you have to be able to trust the process, right? And that trust is built on a solid foundation of clear ethical rules. These rules are there specifically to protect you. And here is the supreme goal, the #1 rule of all mediation. It's called self-determination.
Fancy term, but it means something really simple. You make the decisions. The mediator's job is just to support your decision-making, not to make decisions for you. They can't pressure you, they can't twist your arm, they can't tell you what you should do. The power always stays with you. Okay, confidentiality. This is obviously huge, and there are basically two different models a mediator might use. Model A is all about strict confidentiality. Think of it like a vault. Nothing, and I mean nothing, you say in that caucus is shared with the other person without your direct, explicit permission. This is the one you'll see most often in family and divorce mediation. Then there's Model B, the transparent caucus. This is more common in commercial disputes. Here, the assumption is that everything can be shared unless you specifically say, hey, keep this private. Now, any good mediator is going to tell you exactly which model they use right from the very beginning, so there are absolutely no surprises. So let me leave you with this question. Could a private conversation be the key to a much better public agreement? The next time you find yourself in a really tough negotiation, remember the caucus. It's not just some box to check in the process. It's an incredibly powerful tool that actually respects how our brains work under pressure. It reminds us that sometimes the absolute best way forward is to first take a step back into a private, safe space so you can find the clarity you need to reach an agreement that will actually last. I really hope this helps you out.